Hey, howdy, and good morning. I just had to start out by saying thank you. We've got just over 4,600 subscribers, which again, I'm amazed by. Here we are in a garage with a whiteboard, and you guys are asking questions, which again, I always want to tell you guys thank you. I love the questions. I try to respond. The other thing, again, I want to remind you guys on your end, a lot of times I'm going to ask a follow-up question because I'm not sure either what you're asking or what the situation is. Please respond. I mean, if you're going to start a conversation, don't walk away. Let's keep talking. Let's figure it out. Okay? And today we have another story. I mean, we had the laundry room of death. Next story, kitchen of death. Real thing, people getting shocked off their appliances in the kitchen. Pretty weird. There you go. So we're in a kitchen, and here's the story I'm getting. Imagine this, if you will, probably a 60s house. But when the people are walking, and here's this beautifully drawn floor plan. I know you're impressed. I am. You walk through, heading towards the garage door, sink, cooktop, countertops. Of course, this is a view from above. Here's your fridge with the 110 plug. Here's your oven with your 220. When they walk through, this is a really old, long, narrow galley kitchen. The distance between these two appliances is only 36 inches, really just barely enough room to open either door. But when you touched both of these at the same time, you got shocked. Okay? And I think when I was first starting early on, I thought maybe the homeowner, maybe they had static buildup on their feet. They didn't know what they're talking about. So I put a meter on here. And when I metered between these, I was getting not quite 120 volts, but we'll say 120 volts. That's what that says. So again, I was scrambling around trying to figure out. And what the problem ended up being, if you look up here on open ground, is we had an open ground here. And so we had, without the ground, we had, if I remember right, we had the refrigerator chassis or box being energized. The oven was grounded. It's old enough. This was probably, again, a bonded neutral, but it was still a path back to the panel ground. And so we had potential between these. So the fix on most of this is very easy. Once I checked and saw that there was an open ground here, an energized ground, I think it was actually open, and basically replaced the plug and tightened up and then correctly connected the grounding conductor, the problem went away. Again, you test it because you get your meter out, not your hot stick. You get your meter out, and you push, and you get what we should have here is 0. Okay? Your potential to ground from ground to ground should never have voltage. Okay? So the point of this is, even if it's a lower volt, let's say I wasn't getting 120. Let's say I was only getting 70 volts. The thing that we have to remember in terms of how voltage affects our body is the amperage. Okay? Again, from the manufacturers of GFIs, it only takes 4 to 6 milliamps to make our hearts fibrillate, beat at the same rate as the frequency, which is 60 cycles per second. It doesn't take much. So the voltage isn't a big deal as far as, but what is the amperage in this case, going from hand to hand through our heart? Okay? So the voltage doesn't have to be much. What is the amperage here? So 2 things here that's just a really quick how-to is, 1, check the plug. Is it the outlet? Is it correctly grounded? And again, you can only check that with a meter. Okay? The second thing is, look at your appliance cord. So we're going to test this appliance cord. Go to continuity. You get your tests, or get your tone, wherever that is for your meter. You're going to go from the ground prong and go to the ground wire. You should have continuity. If you don't have continuity, it's a bad cord. You're going to have an open ground condition on whatever is being powered through this. As long as we're here, let's look at the neutral, which is that one. And go to the hot. Hang on. There we go. Come on, let's touch them both at the same time. America. That's what it is. Super useful. You guys out there on job sites, stop using your hot sticks or inductance testers. Use your meter, especially when you start to figure out what's going wrong with an installation, or you have, again, an appliance that the chassis or the box is energized. Use your meter. Switch your meter to ohms. You should have continuity from the ground wire to your ground prong, okay? That's the biggest. The other ones may not be working, but the thing is, if the neutral or the hot are down on the rest of the cord, the appliance just won't work. It won't kill you. Big difference. Because I've had several times when I did the continuity on the ground wire passing through the cord to the ground prong, and there was no continuity. The wire was broke inside the cord. Well, now the cord is creating an open ground condition, and now that will cause its own problems, its own safety issues. Okay, so again, kitchen of death, open ground. That open ground again can come from the outlet or receptacle, or it can come from the cord. Okay, both need to be checked. The upside to all this is that it's so easy to fix. The downside is that people do stuff like pool noodles and electric mats and stuff instead of getting it fixed, I think not realizing how dangerous it is. Love your questions and comments on this. Please click like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.